My wife said, "It's not cheating if it's just once for closure." I nodded like I didn't care. That night, I changed the locks and moved the money. She found out when her friends started asking questions. At 36, I was a man working as a municipal procurement analyst in Baltimore, Maryland. Marla was my wife, 32, and we'd been together 5 years. Between reception deposits and non-refundable vendor fees, $27,450 was exposed. When she drained our celebration fund and blamed my questions, I chose myself. Most mornings I walked the promenade in Harbor East. I carried a chipped ceramic travel mug like a habit. The mug was plain, gray, and stubbornly warm. I bought it for $9 at a thrift shop. I liked routines that did not argue back. I liked receipts, timelines, and clean decisions. Marla liked excitement that looked effortless. She called it following the vibe, then dared me to object. We were already legally married quietly months earlier. The big reception was for family who needed a stage. We booked Rosegate Conservatory for the event. The initial hold was $47.50, and it cleared fast. Cedar Line Catering required another deposit. That invoice line sat highlighted in my mind. I kept every vendor invoice in a small metal lockbox. The lockbox lived under my desk, next to spare keys. Marla teased me about it at Bolton Hill Brunch Club. Her omelet cost $17 and she made me pay. "You love hiding behind paperwork," she said. "I love keeping promises," I said. She smiled like I said something childish. Then she changed the subject smoothly. "In my work life, I negotiated contracts for city departments. I spent my days preventing waste and quiet fraud. That made me confident at home. It also made me blind in one way. I assumed Marla respected boundaries because I did. That was my flaw, trusting my own standards too much. The first strange sign was small. A vendor called me while I sat on Pratt Street in traffic. "Hi, confirming your upgrade request," the planner said. "I didn't request an upgrade," I said. She read directly from the invoice line item. It referenced an added late-night snack station. The cost was $11.80. My throat tightened as I listened. "I'll review and call back," I said. "Of course," she said. At home in Federal Hill, Marla acted casual. She had the same calm face she wore in photos. "Did you add an upgrade?" I asked. She blinked slowly, then shrugged. "It's for our guests," she said. "We didn't agree," I said. She leaned against the counter and smirked. "You stress about everything," she said. I opened the lockbox and pulled the invoice. The chipped mug sat beside it, cooling. The invoice line was clear. It listed a request time and a contact number. The contact number was Marla's. I tapped it with my thumb. "Why did you call them?" I asked. She waved a hand. "Because you take forever," she said. "Someone had to act." That word again, act, like my life was a production she directed. A few nights later, she disappeared again. She said she was helping a friend reset. Her phone stayed silent for hours. When it finally pinged, it was a single message: "Still out, don't spiral." I sat at Thames Street Kitchen with my mug in hand. My dinner was $26 and I tasted nothing. When she came home, she smelled like hotel soap. Her jacket pocket held a folded valet ticket. I didn't accuse. I asked a simple question. "Where were you?" I said. She sighed, irritated. "You always need a report," she said. "I need honesty," I said. She looked at me like I was inconvenient, then she flipped the script fast. "You're getting obsessive," she said. "You're trying to manage me." I didn't raise my voice. I went to the desk and opened the lockbox. I checked the vendor invoices again. 2 more upgrades had been added. One was a lighting package. One was an extended bar service. The combined increase was $23.70. Those numbers sat heavy in my chest. When I asked Marla again, she laughed. It was sharp and cold. "Stop acting like my supervisor," she said. "I'm your husband," I said. She pointed at me like I'd committed a crime. "There," she said, "that controlling tone." I heard the motive beneath her words. She wanted freedom without accountability. Her second motive showed up in the statements. She wanted money without asking. I found the drain while reviewing balances at Patterson Park. I sat on a bench and checked the celebration account. It wasn't a special account with a cute label. It was just a shared savings bucket we both used. The balance had dropped by $6,900. My stomach lurched. I opened the transaction list. A cluster of transfers went to an unfamiliar payee. The amounts were uneven. 1,020 here, 780 there, then 1,340. Nothing about it looked like groceries. Nothing about it looked like vendors either. That night I confronted her in Canton. We ate at Dockside Grain House and the bill was $58. I kept my voice even. I didn't want a scene. "Where did the money go?" I asked. Marla didn't flinch. "I needed space," she said. "So you took cash," I said. She narrowed her eyes. "You're making it ugly," she said. "It's already ugly," I said. "It's just been quiet." Marla leaned forward, lowering her voice. Her smile looked practiced. "You're not going to embarrass me," she said. "I'm not going to protect lies," I said. She scoffed and pushed her plate away. Then she used a new insult like a dagger. "You're a spreadsheet with legs," she said. "I'm a person with limits," I said. The next morning I did not argue again. I prepared. I visited Harborview Community Bank on Charles Street. The appointment lasted 40 minutes. I opened a new account for my paychecks. I redirected my deposit at work before lunch. On the walk back through Mount Vernon, I breathed easier. The chipped mug warmed my palm like a steady pulse. At home, I photographed documents for my own record. I avoided drama and stuck to facts. I also reviewed each vendor contract clause. I focused on refund language and authorization rules. The invoices mattered most. Every upgrade was recorded by line item. Invoice lines became my evidence device. They didn't care about feelings or spin. Marla noticed me getting quiet. She preferred me reactive. She tried soft affection that evening in Hampton. She brought takeout from Lantern and Pine. The total was $33. She acted like generosity erased theft. "I booked us a little weekend getaway," she said. "A reset," she said. I looked at her calmly. "You're not going anywhere with my money," I said. She froze, then laughed like I was joking. "You think you own everything," she said. "I think you stole," I said. Her eyes flashed. She stood up so fast the chair scraped. "You're accusing me because you're insecure," she said. "You don't trust women," she said. That line was designed for an audience. Even though we were alone, she rehearsed. I stayed seated. I placed the lockbox on the table. Marla stared at it like it insulted her. I opened it and slid out invoices. The ceramic mug sat beside the stack. Steam curled up like a warning. "Here's the lighting upgrade," I said. "Here's the bar extension," I said. Marla rolled her eyes. "Those are for the party," she said. "Then why the mystery payee?" I asked. She crossed her arms. "You're not entitled to my every move," she said. "I'm entitled to my own money," I said. She leaned forward and spoke slowly. Her voice dripped with contempt. "You're a needy hall monitor," she said. "I'm done explaining." That was my signal. Not anger, not tears, just clarity. I met an attorney named Celia Price near Guilford Avenue. Her office smelled like paper and calm. The consult fee was $410. I paid it without hesitation. Celia listened, then asked for specifics. "Documents," she said, "not opinions." I brought the lockbox the next day. I set it on her desk. I also brought the mug. It was chipped but reliable. Celia flipped through invoices and frowned. "These upgrades required consent," she said. She pointed to a signature line. It did not match mine. She studied the invoice lines again. The request timestamps matched Marla's phone records. Celia nodded once. "Your path is clean," she said. "Vendor cancellations, fair split, written-only contact." I didn't feel triumphant. I felt tired and then relieved. Back at work, I got news that changed everything. A recruiter called as I walked through Inner Harbor. The city of Minneapolis had an opening. A senior procurement role with wider authority. The offer arrived the next morning. Salary was $172K plus a $13K relocation package. Health benefits were strong. The pension contribution was 8%. When I told Marla, she laughed out loud. She didn't even try to hide it. Minneapolis, she said. You'll freeze and fail, she said. I kept my voice steady. It's a promotion, I said. She made a face like I'd asked for applause. You're chasing titles, she said. Chase your marriage instead. The timing was obvious. She feared losing her grip. She wanted the reception to trap me. She wanted the money to stay accessible. My betrayal switch happened that same afternoon. I returned home early and heard her on the phone. Her voice was sweet, almost giggly. She didn't hear my steps. Yes, I can do another 2 nights, she said. Same place, she said. I walked into view. Marla stopped mid-sentence. She ended the call fast. Then she raised her chin like she was innocent. What? She asked. Who was that? I said. Her eyes narrowed. You're spying, she said. I'm standing in my house, I said. You're making it weird, she said. I didn't argue. I pulled a folded paper from my pocket. It was the valet ticket I'd kept. The hotel name was printed at the top. Marla's face tightened. She saw the evidence and chose offense. You're suffocating, she said. You're obsessed. I looked at her without flinching. I'm done debating, I said. That evening, Celia sent her formal letter. It was not dramatic, just firm. It stated vendor cancellations must go through counsel. It stated funds would be split equitably. It stated contact would be in writing. Marla reacted by calling friends and family, not online, not publicly, just loudly. She told my sister I was monitoring her. She told a cousin I was unstable lately. I did not chase the gossip. I focused on the contracts. I called Rosegate Conservatory first. The cancellation fee was $1,900. I asked for a detailed invoice revision. I wanted line items spelled out. Next, I called Setterline Catering. Their cancellation clause was strict, but clear. A partial refund was available. It required written authorization from the payer. I was the payer. That was not cruelty, just fact. I placed the revised invoices into the lockbox. Each line item felt like a step out. Marla came home and found the locks changed. She stood outside, stunned. She called, then texted, then pounded once. I didn't open the door. Celia had advised me on lawful occupancy. Marla had already moved most of her belongings out. She'd done it during her space nights. Now she discovered I noticed. Marla's friend Tessa called me from a blocked number. I recognized the voice anyway. You're scaring her, Tessa said. I'm securing my home, I said. You're punishing her, Tessa said. I'm ending a financial leak, I said. Tessa went quiet. She didn't have a reply for that. Marla's next move was a showdown attempt. She demanded to meet at a neutral place. We met at Bluebird Reading Room in Fells Point. Her tea was 6.50 and she didn't drink it. She arrived with a practiced wounded face. Then she pushed her phone toward me. Everyone thinks you're cruel, she said. They can think, I said. She leaned in and tried a softer voice. Just give me access, she said. No, I said. Talk through counsel. Her mask slipped. The anger flashed fast. You're a cold little accountant, she said. I'm a man protecting himself, I said. She tried to negotiate the money. She claimed she borrowed it. Celia's letter removed that option. The funds were already accounted for. I slid a revised vendor invoice toward Marla. I tapped the cancellation line. You upgraded without agreement, I said. This is the cost, I said. Marla stared at the paper. Her eyes flicked over the line items. She realized the story couldn't survive invoices. That was the payoff moment. You planned this, she said. I planned peace, I said. Her voice rose. People glanced over from nearby tables. Look at him, she said. He's controlling, she said. I didn't respond to the label. I responded to the facts. I'm moving to Minneapolis, I said. The split will be documented. Marla's mouth opened, then closed. For the first time, she looked unsure. The next phase was quiet preparation. I packed what mattered and sold what didn't. I kept the lockbox beside my suitcase. I kept the mug in my carry-on. I scheduled movers for 12:60. They confirmed the distance and delivery window. I did not use emotional language with anyone. I used dates, invoices, and totals. Celia handled communications. Marla hated that. She wanted access to me, not to resolution. She wanted a debate to reset control. In Minneapolis, I moved into a place in the North Loop. The deposit was $18.60 and the keys felt clean. My first week at Northlake Civic Solutions was intense. I learned new systems and new faces fast. I drank coffee from my chipped mug at my new desk. Coworkers teased it kindly. "That mug has history," Carla, my manager, said. "It does," I said. My days filled with real work, vendor reviews, contract audits, negotiation calls. 2 months in, I led a cost savings initiative. We reduced a service contract by $94,000 annually. Carla praised me in a meeting. She kept it brief and professional. "Good judgment," she said. "That saved us real money." A bonus hit my account later. It was $7,600 after deductions. That number mattered because it was mine alone. No hidden transfers, no surprises. Consequences back home spread without my help. The vendors began emailing revised invoices. They sent them to both parties. Marla couldn't pretend the party was still happening. Friends started asking her why things canceled. Her answers didn't match the paperwork. My sister told me one sentence over the phone. "Her story keeps changing," she said. I didn't celebrate that. I just noted it and moved on. Marla tried a return attempt in the fall. She flew to Minneapolis and showed up at my building. She wore a soft expression like a costume. Her voice came out small. "I miss us," she said. "I miss who you were," she said. I stood in the lobby with my mug in hand. I had just returned from a 3-mile walk. "We're not reopening this," I said. "You're overreacting," she said. "No," I said. "You stole and lied." She swallowed and tried to touch my arm. I stepped back. "Please," she said, "I'll fix it." "Fix yourself," I said. "Not my life." She left without yelling. That silence told me everything. The signature scene came later, unexpectedly. I applied for a small condo near Linden Hills. The lender scheduled a mortgage underwriting call. It lasted 28 minutes and felt oddly soothing. The underwriter asked about income stability. I answered with calm numbers. They asked about liabilities. I answered with clean statements. When the call ended, I realized something. My life was now built on verifiable truths. The final vendor settlement closed soon after. Celia forwarded the last confirmation. I placed the final invoices in the lockbox. Then I didn't open it for weeks. Near the end, I kept 3 line items printed for my records. They reminded me how clarity beats chaos. Invoice line. Rosegate Conservatory cancellation fee, $1,900. 2024-08-12 invoice line. Cedar Line Catering refund processed, $34.20. 2024-08-19 invoice line. Harbor Light Strings Retainer returned, $21.15. 2024-08-27 a year later, I lived quietly and well. My savings crossed $58K and my sleep stayed steady. I hosted a small dinner near Stone Arch Bridge. The meal cost $64 and it felt easy. A voicemail arrived from Marla that same week. Her tone sounded different, less sharp. "I'm sorry for taking your money," she said. "I'm sorry for blaming you," she said. "I was scared of losing control," she said. I listened once and didn't replay it. Then I replied with one short message. "Thank you, I'm moving forward." "Goodbye," I said. I washed my mug and set it on the rack. I slid the lockbox back under my desk. I didn't feel bitter. I felt finished. I learned that love without transparency becomes a trap. My boundary rule now is simple. Shared money needs shared access. If I could redo one thing, I'd demand clarity at the first lie. I also learned that calm paperwork can protect a soft heart. Some endings look quiet because peace is quiet. That quiet became my favorite sound.